What are some popular kinks you just don't like? Feet. I don't dislike them, but they're just feet. I feel the same. Some girls have cute feet. Some girls have gross feet, but neither make me horny. I have a foot fetish. But even the people who have foot fetishes I know take it weird. For me, I respect the anatomy of the foot and what it represents. That being a structure of rooted balance and control, adapted specifically to keep us upright. As well as all nerves end in the feet. Your feet are adapted to feel for sharp rocks and temperature change, and often more delicately than myriad hands can. That's because all of the nerves in the foot. For me, I like to manipulate that to advantage. My girlfriend has a long day or a headache. Rubbing in a specific way, or in a certain spot, will hit nerves to do certain things, and get the blood moving. But you have to admit that feet are weird and how perfect they are for what they do. Lose your big toe and you gotta relearn how to balance and sometimes walk. Actually, studies claim that this is because the part of the brain that detects and identifies feet is also in control of sexual arousal, and some people have those wires crossed. The part of the brain that detects and identifies feet, yup, those are feet. Definitely feet. Actually, if I am not mistaken, those are two distinct areas that are next to each other. The area that controls sex is close to the feet area. The cross-wiring happens between those two areas. Somatosensory map. Yeah, I am not trying to get athlete's foot on my dick. Feet is such a hit and miss one for me. I am generally not a fan of feet at all, especially not my own. But then when a girl starts curling her toes during an orgasm, I don't know, that's kinda hot. You prefer meters. Prolapsing of any body part. Keep your guts tucked up in your butt. Damn, I blocked this out of my mind for a while. I am gonna go heave just from thinking about it. Just remember, Google never forgets and will always be there to remind you of your nightmares. Alexa, tell me the sound a prolapsed anus makes when it releases gas. Daddy kink. Makes me cringe when I hear or run across it. Exactly this. I've got kids. I get woken up with daddy 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 every morning. When there is a poopy diaper I hear da da I. When I've put 2 ice cubes in instead of the requested 3 I hear daddy with your in trouble tone. etc. If my wife called me daddy during sex, I would probably instinctively throw her on her back, put her legs in the air, and reach for the diaper wipes. Oh, and turn instantly floppy. Like overcooked spaghetti. So you have a diaper fetish as well. Agreed, my friend. The word daddy has absolutely no sensual connotation in my mind. Between being a father of 2 myself and having called my own father daddy until I was like 12 or 13, it's just an instantaneous erection killer. But I just can't figure this one out. No kink shaming or anything to anyone who likes it that may be reading this. BTW. To each their own. It's just not for me. Mommy stuff. It's nice to have someone comforting and protective. But why call it mommy? So I have a bit of a mommy fetish. I DK about everybody else. But for me it's a combination of being into older women, milfs, cougars, etc, and I also the idea of security and comfort that I could get from my mommy. I don't like having to act like a tough, dominant man that's totally in charge. I'd rather show my soft side. I want to have passionate sex with an older woman and she is telling me I am a good boy, I am doing fine, rubbing my head and back, and making me comfortable the whole time. I just want a woman who could totally beat me in a fight. Psychology student here. Some people including myself have a deep-rooted compulsive need for this sort of female appraisal. Given typically by older and bigger, i.e. due to unresolved childhood maternal traumas. Long nails. I still don't like seeing long nails. Especially crazy colors or patterns. But they can be pretty great when your head is in their lap and they're gently running through your hair and scalp. Opposite here. Long nails are amazing. Especially when they're tearing the shit out of your back. Incest role playing. Even if it's stepmom stepdad etc. I read this as insect roleplay at first and it didn't even surprise me, lol. How did this even become popular and mainstream? 10 years ago, if you mentioned banging family, people would be like, what the fuck dude? Now Pornhub is spammed with that shit. It's so weird. Simple. It's nice to have a little story to rollerplay that lines jumps to the porn. Something believable that you can put yourself into. This used to be stuff like single dad catches babysitter masturbating. Single girl offers to pay for pizza with sex. Office secretary offers body to boss for promotion. And a whole lot of cheating. Pay for it. With the advent of the internet, a lot of porn was suddenly available to minors who figured out how the click yes, if over 18 button worked. Their fantasies were less about being the boss at work or cucking a cheating wife and more about that cute girl at school. But what's believable? Oh, what if my parents split and remarried and now the cute girl at school has to sleep in the room next to me? For young guys who don't know how to approach women yet, it's really easy to just write them a scenario where their busty stepmother says it's time you learned what to do with all that sperm. Because if it was their actual mom or sister, that would be incest and probably make them think of their actual mom or sister and kill their boners. Cast some 23-year-old who still looks like she could pass as a teenager and suddenly you've got clicks from plenty of adults who are just watching to see a beautiful woman taking dick. Now, the algorithms are showing that these are the videos getting a lot of traction, so they make more. What are you doing? Stepbrother videos. And now we all feel a little weird about it. Step family similar stuff like I'm so bored of it overrated. Edit thanks for the reward. Don't know who you are, but you made my day a bit better THNX. Reddit said to thank someone in DM THNX. Same every other porn is stepsister or stepbrother or any other step relative, where is the originality? Like 10 years ago it was cheerleaders all the way. Now just step this step that. It's boring indeed. Furries are fucking weird, and I am not sorry for saying it. I just don't get it. Furries are really fucking weird sounding. For those unfamiliar, it's when men enjoy having things typically made of metal, but sometimes glass shoved up their urethra. Dunno how popular it is necessarily, but it's popular enough for me to find out all the fuck about it at a very awkward moment. Or AA batteries. Thanks Rotten. Also actual sized dildos, because of course, when he went into detail about it a little later on, he mentioned batteries as an option, but then brought up certain hazards. Everyone has their limits. Crossed eyes and tongue out. It comes from hentai anime, I guess, and I've seen some pornsters doing it. It makes me want to punch them in the face. Term as a hegeo flies away. Hocking a wad of spit on a dick or puss for lube. You have such a way with words. Cake farting and farting in general. Like ooh. Cake farting. Learned something new today. You know what I really like? Saw the quote on a shirt once with a graphic of a cake. I simultaneously laughed and felt ashamed. I knew what it was referring to. I feel the same. Ooh. Anything related to fecal matter for me anyways. Should not be part of fun time. Haha. Incest. Anything that has to do with piss and shit. Anything that is painful to the point it will take away the joy. People watch too much fucking porn. Anything that looks like a Kardashian. You lines hate our bimbo fetish. Unironically. I think they're more shamed for their appearances than anyone else on the internet. Diapers, gigantic asses. People actually have diaper kinks. What the F is wrong with them? Dude, I had a guy who I dated until he said he wanted me to wear a diaper he change me, and that he was so excited to finally do it with someone else. BC normally he just wears it himself pees in it then jacks off. I had a 1-year-old in diapers. I never hightailed it out of a relationship. Ghost so hard in my entire life. Dunno if someone has said it before, but the main kink I simply cannot understand is scat. Yeah. SCAT. Like how do you get turned on by the sight of someone taking a big dump, eating that shit, and smearing it everywhere? Like how? I dig anal, but scat is a kink that makes zero sense and has zero appeal to me. Feet, furries, and that human puppy thing where people act like dogs on a leash. Fucking kill me. What is furry? The most innocent redditor on the platform. God bless you, sir. Oh darling. My BF asked me this question a few days ago, and he wasn't the same after an explanation. Keep your innocence. Daddy kink. So gross. Do not want to be called daddy. Not even sure why it's sexual. I am not your father, and if I was, this is all wrong, you know. I'm not your father partner. No, it can be. DDLG daddy kink. I was into DDLG when I was underage and am now completely turned off by it. I respect consenting adults who are into that stuff. It's their business. But I find too many underage kids get into it too early and don't realize that there's a reason. Kink spaces are meant to be 18. It's messed up to call someone daddy in bed when you still live with your actual dad. A lot of kids get victimized this way too, and I feel like there isn't generally much done to prevent it. Yep. I remember being a teenage girl and being into the whole Tumblr Lalita, daddy issues, Lana Del Rey mess. I thought it was cool, but now I am 20 and looking back I am like what the fuck. Rasplay as a black woman, it's a hell no from me. Even just referencing my race in a sexual way is a turn off for me lol. Rasplay, that's a thing. Eating ass. Just why? When you re-hungry. Ahajago face or whatever it's called. Just makes me think of my mum saying to me as a kid, one day your face will stick like that. If you're not careful. So you like your mom is what you're re-saying. Not sure it's even a kink anymore, but asshole stuff. Way past being a kink. Acting like a child, age regression or little one, how TF they called. It makes me disgusted as it's some pedo shit. Hi there. As someone who is part of some BDSM groups and who has been researching for a while I myself am not a little or middle and do not participate in any form of age play, I understand why people do. For some, it is trauma response. They may have been abused as a child and they feel like BDSM and age play may be a way to get back lost time. For others, similar to pet play, if is a way to forget about the stresses about their normal life. They don't have to think about taxes or bills or their shifty day at work. They can forget about it and just act like an animal or a child with no worries. Free from stress. Others may do it just because find it fun. The BDSM community as a whole makes it a large point to not accepting any minors in as they cannot give their complete informed consent, if any at all. Any people who practice ageplay or pet play that are fetishizing children and animals are indeed, but most people who practice it are doing so for purposes that are nowhere near the realm of sexualizing children. I don't like thin beautiful women. I can tell they are attractive physically but they don't drive me wild like a short plump MILF does. Guys think I am fucking crazy when I say that I don't like 10 models. I like 'em big. I like 'em chunky. I hate when women want me to dress up like Captain Crunch and enter the room and yell crunchatize me captain. I just don't get what so many people have with anal. A hole is a hole. But I know some guys that specifically like this one a lot. Humiliation makes me feel awful. Surprised to see so much about Pastapazaja played EDLG. Didn't realize it was so popular and common. That stuff is my jam. Pure vomit stuff, just no. Thank you. Threesomes does not interest me whatsoever. Even if it was the two hottest girls I can imagine, I would still rather one at a time. Same. Why would I want to disappoint two women instead of the usual one? Was in an open relationship with a bisexual girl for years. When she decided to open it up, I immediately thought this would mean a bunch of threesomes, and I hit the jackpot. What actually ended up happening was her bringing home women that were far more interested in her than me. Kind of hard to get off when some stranger is in your room giving you the mean mug so she can have her turn with your girlfriend. Anal is a tad overrated. I get the appeal and don't begrudge any one of it. But the novelty kind of wore off in my early 20s. YMMV. My wife shat a mixture of lube and poop on me cause she couldn't control her fart the first time we did anal. It sprayed all over my chest while she was laughing and controllably increasing the poop covered area. It was also the last time we did anal. Furries and cucks are the result of too little bullying. Cross-eyed with their tongue out. Fucking stop. Humiliation and BDSM. Like. Not only do I not like being insulted, I don't like insulting others. It makes me feel weird talking down to people. Maybe I like being complimented. Or that someone likes me. Positivity makes me rock solid.